Oh, no, it's my microphone. That's where it is. Hello, hello. Right, hello, and welcome to Britain's Hidden History number 100. Woo! At least they would never last. Play it, take it away, Leon. Boom, boom. Right. Wow, so many comments. Sorry, a bit late starting. I'm sorry. It was a last-minute, complete change of plan. The show's going to be all about ancient Athens and all that kind of stuff. We'll do it another time, maybe in the week. And I was thinking, what's that? Oh, Arnie's it's got me on an auto-repeat. I'm doing weird things. So hello, Gary Taylor, first on this evening. Hello, Brad Campbell. Hello, Cole Pendry. I've got some special love going out tonight. We'll come on to that. Philip and Luke and Maria. And hey, thank you very much, Leon. Right, let's see some of the comments. Who else we got there? Andrew Whelan. Hello, everyone. Is this show 100 on 99B? It was going to be 99B. My plan was to wait till next week to have the 100th show. And it's a bit of a cheat, but I think we missed 1 week somewhere on the line where we ran a video instead. But then it's like, because the plan was as well to get the special surprise of Alan Wilson live or something like that, or at least get some footage of him, an update. But the update, all that's not going to happen till this week, which won't be available till the week after. Then it'll be on, so it'll be on 99B, 99C, and then it'll be 100. So it's like, there's so much going on, so much news, so many things to report, that we're just to relax a bit. Enjoy 100th episode. Well done to everyone. I'm so impressed. There's so many people who come back every week, watch all of them. You're spreading the word, sharing it around. Everything's growing. What have we got? 4,300 subscribers now. Well over 1,000 watch every week. Onwards and upwards. So I thought just do a show. Some of the things that are going on, some updates. And also from my point of view, I've just been like, getting this book, getting this out. I didn't realise it's every waking hour. I was getting up 6:30 to 7 in the morning, and I can't seem to get back into a normal sleeping routine. And every waking hour was on that. And as you know, the channel suffered a bit. Not many videos during the week. I was doing more or less a video every day. And that's going to start back again. So look out for things like the Athens Project. All these other things will start happening again. Although probably not this week, because I'm off to do Alan and see Alan for a few days. So well done, Andrew Wheel, as well. Yeah, I've got something from you on the show tonight. Yeah, well done, it's great. I mean, got to remember, just a little reminder for all of us, including myself, all of us, what we're trying to do here. What's this all about? And if you are new, you're very welcome. And just a very briefest of introductions. We've got a situation where we've got this amazing rich British history. It's well recorded. It's in loads of books. People like Shakespeare wrote about it. It's this was our history, and it was just... there's been a couple of rewrites, and I think anybody who's following what's happening in the world today knows there's a massive rewrite going on. We can see it in real time. All the history books are being rewritten for political reasons, and I'm not making a judgment on that. We can talk about that another time, whether you think it's better or worse, what they're doing. I'd be surprised if many think it's better, but there you go. It's changing. Well, a big change happened after the coup in 1688, when the old British kings were kicked out and the Germanic throne, well, basically the city of London, took charge of Britain, and they still run it. And they changed the narrative and threw all our history in the bin and called it myths and legends. And it's up to us to try and bring it back, because for some reason can't get any appetite at all from any of the political parties, whether they be, independence parties, Welsh nationalist parties, English parties, Scottish parties, no interest from anyone. National media is not particularly interested, although we have had some coverage on S4C, so that was good. I'm going to try and get some more. Anyway, so a few more hellos. Hello, Paula D. Seekers of Truth, yes. Well, Seekers of Truth indeed, and at the very least, let's put up what we do know, what is in the books. And you'd be amazed if you look at any history books written before that coup, or before that 1660s, when they started taking over. Completely different world, completely different history. I mean, that's the period then in the 1700s, this idea of Celts was invented, Britons and Irish being Celts when they never were. The idea of Anglo-Saxons, or the English being Germanic, which is not true either. All these ideas were just invented, and they've just become our new national identity, if you like. A lot of people are clearly fighting hard to sort of maintain this. But actually, this is a rewrite in itself, and I'm sure there's been others. Okay, this covers lots of things. Right, what else we got here? Yeah, all right. Thanks, Carl. Hasn't disappointed yet. I'm getting his take on what I found out about my lineage. Yes, I haven't got time to go through that yet, Cole. We'll come on to that next week, hopefully. Right, yes, we missed you last week, Marshall. We'll let you off, all right? There's no register taken. You're allowed to miss you all. But Gavin Lloyd, good to see you. Arnie, I've got a good feeling in my bones. Arnie is going to play the Beatles. Ooh, can you think, do you know any Beatles songs on? There's things trying to think which ones. Which was that?
I've only ever heard one.
Only heard one? Is that Beatles? Wow.
I can't remember what it's called.
Oh, Yesterday.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yesterday, yeah. Yesterday, all my troubles seem so far away. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I don't really know it, but I can.
There was a joke version. Was it Leprosy? Do you remember that one? Is that Bad Taste? Was it Leprosy? Bits are falling off all over me. I'm not half the man I used to be. No, never mind. That's probably not permissible in the modern world. Right, okay, well, if you have a go at that, if you like, Arnie, we'll have a bit of that later. Yes, happy Sunday. Sorry, yes, this is the most holy day of the year, isn't it? So we'll just take it a bit relaxed tonight. So we'll take it a bit easy, go through some of the things that are happening. All good stuff. And I'm also a bit worn out because yesterday, thank you very much, I'll go through a bit more details next week, so I haven't got any pictures or video or anything. But I was very kindly invited to present at the FEB tour, which was a truth-seeking tour, and is a venue. Martin Leaker organised all of it. It was fantastic. A couple of hundred people there. Great screens and really, really good audience. Everyone swapping ideas, really friendly, joyful, and I got to present live to people, which is great. And a lot of people said how much smarter I looked in real life. I put a jacket on and a shirt and stuff, so I need to make more of an effort on a Sunday. Try and make my hair look nice and try to be a bit smarter. I got so many comments. Oh, yeah, about that old red coat you got. And it was weird. It was like being a celebrity for the day. So thank you for that. Selfies with people and all sorts of things. I was like, wow, this is great. So that was really good. And we covered a lot of ground. And I might I'm hoping we get someone. I wasn't able to film it. But someone did film it on their shiny new iPhone. So hopefully Hippie Chick will send that through and I can pop it up and everyone can see it. Hello to everyone else. I'm still trying to catch up in the comments. Yeah, thank you, Cole. Looking forward to seeing that. Right, hang on, a lot of comments there. Hang on a second. Who else we got? Squirrel Sniper. Yes, hello. Right, okay, loads of... Right, okay. Pure Blood, hello. And David Church, Marcel. Kay, hello, Kay. Right, everyone's looking at, genealogies and stuff. Yeah, that's... I don't spend too much time with individual genealogies. Got way too much covers. David Church, a lot of the reports from DNA companies are a bit iffy, mostly because they're poor sampling. Yeah, I'm not such a big DNA fan myself. I've got a whiff of something going on here that I don't know. I shouldn't read comics. I haven't really researched it, but I think it's a bit like one of those things. It's more useful for general populations than individuals. But hey, a lot of people think it's great. Who am I to say? Holistic Media, hello Zoe, and yeah, thanks for taking part. No, I loved it yesterday. I absolutely loved it. The other speakers there as well. Dave, hang on, I've got to remember the name of his channel right now. Well, it's Dave Murphy, if you want to search him on YouTube. Dave Murphy, it's Dave Murphy 59, his channel. Was it Apparently Dave? Oh, what's his name? Someone will put it up there. Oh, you are Hippie Chick with Squirrel Sniper. All these names, haven't you? Hippie Shake. That was brilliant. I'd say he was very good as well was Mark Devlin, who used to be Radio 1 DJ. And he's just kind of had a guts full of the whole music scene and the corruption and all the really unpleasant business going on there. And he's written some books, Musical Truths. I bought one of those, enjoying that. He did a really good presentation. Really quite disturbing how... and this is funny, you should mention the Beatles there. Someone was saying about it. Yeah, I'll do a slight detour tonight. There are lots of detours. What he was saying is that the whole... the music that we presented, all the commercially successful stuff, has been manipulated, and it's done with a certain agenda in mind. And he talked about this Faustian pact, where people sell, this goes all the way back to the 1950s, We effectively sell your soul to the music industry for richness, fame, glory, all that kind of goes with it, but you do lose your soul as part of the process. And it's quite remarkable how many have gone through that. And of course, when they try and blow the whistle on it, they suddenly have horrible accidents. The number of celebrities musicians who've died in plane crashes or committed suicides in baths and all that. So not the kind of thing we normally do on this channel, but really fascinating. I'd recommend having a look. I should put some links up, try and find his channel and stuff. And I've already started reading the book, very interesting. And one is the Beatles. The Beatles. And I know I've pointed out on, if you go to Andrew Johnson's Check the Evidence website, there's a wonderful documentary on there I watched ages ago about how the Beatles didn't write their own music or perform it on many of the albums. Now, I hope I'm not going to get people switching off now, because whenever I mention this to Beatles fans, they get really, really emotionally upset about it and get quite angry about it. And it's another one of those ones where it doesn't fit the paradigm. And one of the curious things about their music, you look at the Beatles mania and all that screaming and all these, oh man, women going crazy, particularly young girls, but everybody just, it happened with Elvis, it happened with the Beatles. And a lot of that was to do with the changing the hertz on the music, changing the frequency. So now we're a bit more used to it, a bit more immune. We're not quite the same violent reactions they had in those days. But you have to remember, a lot of this stuff is very powerful. So don't tend to listen. I was already aware of this to a certain extent, which is why Ari, for instance, hasn't listened to lots of commercial music, and it's not something we listen to a lot. Because, Cilla Black taking out for what she knows about the BBC, Cilla Black, maybe. She didn't say anything, did she? This is the problem. American Pie and Stairway to Heaven Coalition never noticed, but the lyrics fit perfect. Interesting. I got left behind sometime in the 80s. Yeah, I like the music and everything, but I find we're trying to, as you know, it's the music we play here. You've got Welsh folk tune to play as well, haven't you, tonight? Yeah. Welsh folk tune, yeah. So you play some nice music like that. And yeah, we're trying to move things to the 432 frequency. Thank you, Graham King, yes. It's been shifted, and if you look into, it's called kinetics, which I've started looking into, and Dave talks about this as well. So anyway, I am diverting, which I do a lot. It's going to be that kind of evening, all right? I've got quite a few things to show, but it's going to be quite relaxed, and let's talk about where things are going. And one of the reasons I want to talk a bit more about what they were doing, because it's called the Flat Earth Britain Tour. And immediately, a lot of people, it's Flat Earth, this reaction. It's just, whoa. Let's say you got there, someone there was talking, like Dave was talking about lost history, really. He was talking about lost history. He was talking about the Nazi program, World War II, and then how the Russians and eugenics and all sorts of stuff. And we had the music thing. And the other talks there, interesting about internet censorship. There's someone on from Ukraine, someone from Russia. This was really good stuff. And Martin did a brilliant presentation showing about resets and all the fires in America in the 1840s and 1860s. So you really got to be open to these ideas. Don't let the cover, don't let the book cover put you off. Because I know for some reason it's like a dog whistle, the flat earth thing. So to me, it's not really a big thing either way. I know it sounds weird. I spent many sleepless nights puzzling over, is it flat earth or a globe and all that kind of thing. And Einstein would say as well, you can't really tell from the surface. So it depends where you want to go from that. And I'm not going down that rabbit hole on here. And I think whether we're an experiment in a dome, or we're God created, or we're a globe, or we're a flat earth, many planes. I know Luke's going to say more about this, but it doesn't really change what's happening with our history. So don't let it put you off or get too diverted by these things, okay? Football hooliganism was created by frequency from ships, which is why it mostly happened with a certain distance from the coastline. That's very interesting. I didn't know about that. Makes sense when I used to go and watch Southampton play against Portsmouth. That got a bit rough. I hear that John Lennon preferred to record his music in the old tuning of 432 Hz for a warmer, more earthy sound. Well, could be. Guad Ross. Guad. Is that good or bad? Like go with kinetics. Oh God, yeah, I'm not going to go into all that kind of stuff. Right, good evening everyone. Good evening Susie. Alright, okay. Now, I've got the presentation here, really. It's more to remind me of things to cover, but I'll put a little bit up anyway, okay? What's the first thing? Oh, yes. So I should share this, shouldn't I? It would make more sense. Okay. I'm looking for the comments, yeah? So I really don't want to go and spend too much time on this screen because I can't see the comments so easy. Although I've got this computer here. Earth not flat, it's bumpy here between the mountains and the sea. It's pretty... Yeah, Wales certainly isn't flat. That's the old joke, isn't it? Wales would be bigger than England if you flattened it out. But so let's keep away from that kind of thing anyway. Because the difficulty's always been that you've got very important history to get across here. And whether it's right or wrong, to me, is not really important. The point is, it creates a kind of negative vibe or an image. And people say, oh, that bunch of loonies over there. And it's Wilson and Blackett's work particularly really needs to be the serious appreciation. And we've got to focus on that. And you'll see the other workers coming along, trying to bring some updates just to show you what's happening. But first of all, Phil Avery Brown and Maria, his partner, both been very, very ill. Oops, sorry, my phone. I should turn it off. Is this a message? Someone told me, you made a mistake, don't do this. Oh, it's Carl James Langford. Are you free tomorrow? So you're obviously not watching the show then, Carl. Yeah, that's an interesting little thing. I can't say too much about it, but Carl has been trying to save I'm going to talk a little bit about it. In World War II, so let's do the healing. Right. Philip Avery Brown and Maria, both in hospital. Well, they were a couple of days ago, last time I spoke. I've been away in Birmingham doing that presentation. It was late finish last night. I mean, we all ran over. And I didn't want to stay another night in Birmingham, so I didn't get back to 2:30, 3 in the morning. I had to get up for rugby, so I'm pretty tired. But, so I haven't had a chance to call Philip to see how they're doing today. He lost his voice after texting him. We're sending him our best love and healing energy. Hopefully they're both better. And also Legal Luke, who posted this picture. That's him today. I think he must have come off his bike because his wrist is just smashed to bits, he said. They can't put it back together properly. He's going to have surgery and held together by plates and all sorts. So he's in hospital. Well, that photo looks like he is home. Well, he's not in a hospital anyway. Strange, I think he's in hospital. Anyway, doesn't matter. And he looks like his right hand is writing arm, so that's not good. So I'm really wishing Luke the best as well and hope he's on the mend soon. We were going to record the next step. This is one of the updates, if you like, because if you've been following them, have a look on the playlists. As you've been known as legal researcher Luke. What we're doing there, one of the many strings to the bows, is Luke's going through the Bible and looking at the legal definitions of the words, what the words really mean, why have you got capital G God in some places and then uppercase G-O-D. Suddenly the uppercase Lord appears in Genesis. Who are all these different bodies and all that kind of... And I know other people deal with this. It's in other channels. I know Dave, for instance, Dave Murphy. He's talked about this. He talked about it a little bit yesterday. Covered some of the similar ground. Where this ties to Britain's in history and what Luke's done is then showing how this refers to Britain and British history. And that's going to be the next step, which now I'm free to start recording again after I'm getting the book done. Luke, as you can see, is banged up in hospital. So hopefully, I don't know if we can... He's clicky on the mouse hand for getting all the images together and everything. So no, we'll see on that one. So it's quite sad to hear that one. Oh, things are happening in Aberdeen again. Good to hear it, Andrew. Yeah, gigs now happening. I assume, or I'm not assuming, I wonder if Betty Babbles is involved in that as well. Right, okay. Right, oh yeah. Good news. Thank you to those people who sent messages for Baron for his birthday. Please send more, okay? It's very difficult for me to check through all the comments for it. Send me an email, ross@cumroglyphics.com, or put me on Facebook is probably the easiest if you can, on the BHH group, Britain's Hidden History group, or send me a message on there. Because just to recap, if you weren't aware of it, Barham has been obviously looking... I must make it clear as well, they're not a gay couple or anything like that, alright? They're two blokes who live together, alright? I don't want to go into their personal details, but that's just not the situation, okay? They've both got other lives and families and whatever, right? So we're not going into that. And Barham really, now Alan's going to be 90 in a couple of months, which I also want to mention. It's become more and more of a caring job with Barham, and he's done a brilliant job. He's had a lot of stick over the years, and people have called him all sorts of terrible things. And some people even think he's some sort of handler or something. He works for MI5, all sorts of rubbish. If he is, I tell you, that's the worst job in the world. Because he's done this for decades and decades now. Without Barham, there wouldn't be any of this happening. So it's a very strange way of doing it. So he's got Alan on one side of Newcastle, who does need care now, alright? Things like food and medics and things like that. Barham's mother's the other side of Newcastle. She's not much younger than Alan, not as old as that, but still, she needs help. And Barham's uncle, who's 96. I spoke to him recently. He's on top form, but still. So it's very, very stressful, and we've got to keep him going, alright? Because Barham's no spring chicken either. And with the help, thank you Graham King, and Neil, Graham you mentioned on there, with their contacts managed to get, here it is, just to show, ringside boxing seat, hooray, to watch there. Hopefully Tyson Fury against Dillian White. It does look like the fight's gone, it's going to be those. So we got in that, and this is, it cost a couple of $1,000, but there you go, it's a special treat. And a few nights in London in a little hotel, because they don't have much of a life at all, I can assure you. Just sitting in that house isolated with Alan the whole time is not really good. And I will be looking after Alan for 3 or 4 days, and I'm still trying to fix it so they've got internet in their house. So hopefully I'll get that done this week. And if it does go well, I'm going to try and have Alan on the show, because I'm supposed to come back Sunday, so it's all very messy. So I thought we just want to do this week, because that might not happen next week either. So if you would like to contribute, it's quite an expensive little thing we're doing here. You can do, you go to the transfer, if you go to the website with the books and that, you can do, there's a donations link. So you can click on there, just put Barham's birthday. If you don't know, all the book sales and everything, all the revenue from that gets shared with Alan and Barham, and this helps to give them some comfort in their old age. Organised doing their house, their garden, there's more repairs needed doing, the cleaning, all that kind of stuff. They need help, alright? And I think for all they've done for British history and for us, it really is the least we can do. Oh yeah, I've mentioned book signing on there. So the books, as I mentioned during the week, hooray, they are back from the printers. Went for the better quality covers this time. I'm glad I did. They're quite stiff. I really like them. Books look fantastic. I'm really pleased. Sharp-eyed viewers might notice there was one slight error on the front cover. So, if you get in the first ones, these are going to become collector's pieces. There's nothing wrong with the contents. I've been looking through. Thank you, Marshall Abrahams. Proofing is fantastic. I made a mistake on the cover. It's not a biggie, I'm not going to say it, but it will make these collector's items, I think. Because we just had a couple of hundred done as an early print run. So that a bit of a gamble, you know, if there's a big mistake, or say I got the pages the wrong way around, like the left pages on the right, or the right one on the left, all that kind of thing, then it would have we'd never had thousands of books, you know, with a mistake for ages. So you can see, look, rather this. Oh, the other thing I didn't mention last week is there is an index. Hooray, 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 hooray. It's pretty extensive, and I'm going to add to that, so the index will grow as we go on, but there's quite a bit, and there's 2 volumes. There's the other one. So there's the other one with the American part of the journey. Okay, really looking fantastic. Loads of pictures, bigger index than this one, and the plan, as we do updates on the whole project, what's going on and everything, is that so thank you for all those who ordered in advance. The pre-orders paid for the print run, so brilliant, thank you for that. Couldn't have done it without you. And the first part in the book here is the acknowledgements and the thanks. You're in there, the people who helped with the typing, the proofing. Brilliant, thank you very much. Your names are saved for posterity. I almost said posterity then, that's your bum, innit? Posterity. Oh, come on, Ross. You're not that tired out or anything. Right, so okay, so get the book signed at the end of the week. So this is why the books haven't been sent out yet, because I'm going to go up there to Newcastle. I've got enough to pay, enough books for all the pre-orders to be signed, plus a few extra copies. I sold some yesterday at the presentation. Yeah, that went brilliantly. So there we are. So that's the update on that. And at the end of the show, you'll see there's more new books on the way. Ha ha ha. It'll take a few months, don't worry. I'm going to sort of, you can buy this one now and read it. Plenty of time for the next one, alright? So long as everyone tunes the A the same, we got a band. Oh, yeah, music. Anyway, right. Yeah, so thank you very much yesterday to Martin Leaker and all the FEB friends, all those people who bought books. And I had... Oh, no, and Steve and Anne and... There's a piece of paper in my hand. Oh my goodness, I do apologise. I'd written down a few names I wanted to thank particularly for yesterday. And Maria and Steve. Oh my goodness, I'll have to thank you next week. I had the piece of paper, where'd it go? Thank you very much. I met some really interesting people with lots of interesting things to say from different parts of Wales. Maria from Greece, looking forward to that because she's been really looking at dragons and studying with how the stars and all that fits in. So we're going to get together and do a chat on that one as well. How do you reply to people on chat? I can never get to work on my phone. How English and Germanic... All right, okay. Yeah, the language stuff. Thank you, Junction Films. I'm not sure who that is. Yeah, the English language. There's some very interesting chat about that yesterday, how it was developed, where it came from. A couple of people came up to with interesting ideas. We're going to follow that up. So remember, send your emails. And yeah, it was great. I had a great time. Tiring, because it's a long, long day, but it was brilliant. And I like to say that, hang on a second. Please, if you are in, what we have to do now, and this is what a lot of tonight's about, is like a rallying call. We've done the groups of 4,300, which I think is great. I'm amazed, and well over 1,000 people watch the show every week. Fantastic, great chat. As you see, there's lots of people doing different projects, getting things going. It's brilliant. We do need to get to the next level in terms of numbers, though. And exposure. Like I was looking yesterday, that like Dave, for example, he has 50-odd thousand subscribers. Martin's got 50,000. All the other channels are all at that sort of level and getting tens of thousands of views. Then we start to make an impact. Then these books really start to hit the mark. We can get the cost down per book, all kinds of things. And we can start to put some pressure on to hopefully have this recognised. This is our history. This is our heritage. And not just here, Britain, America, all these places. It's got to go on the record. One of the things we talked about, hang on a second, this was like, yesterday was very... one of the presentations, I think it was Richie Rich, actually. He was the one who did the anti-lockdown song, telling people where to stick their lockdowns and stuff. But what he was pointing out then is something I'd seen before on, not seen before, but James Corbett on Corbett Report has pointed out a similar thing. The way the internet searches are going and stuff, we are not going to just grow generically as has happened in the past, or organically, as channels used to do in the past. I'd be interested to see on the comments there to see how people discovered this channel, for instance, or the Britain's Hidden History group. Because a lot of the stuff I got involved in this was prompted in the old days, 7-8 years ago, that's all we're talking about, when the internet was still working properly. If you were into this kind of stuff, like I was looking for different things about the hidden history. If you know the story I've told before, where Arnie was asking questions about World War II, I was trying to find out about the financing. And channels that get prompted, and videos that get prompted to say, hey, you might like this, or this, you might like that one. That's gone. It's a kind of censorship. The only things that get pushed up now, if you Google something, you're going to get all the mainstream suggestions, all the newspapers, Daily Mail, CNN, all that. They're the versions you're going to get. We cannot rely on spreading our message through Google searches or prompts from YouTube. Doesn't work like that anymore. It's gone. Those days are gone. So we've got to be a bit more proactive, okay? So if you do know any more places to go, well, I'll come and speak, okay? Or if you want to do a speak or talk or something, I'll support you and give you the stuff or whatever you need. But I think ideally, if you get me in front of more events like this one, More people, keep spreading the word, be brilliant. And please, share the news about the channel, about the books. Just tell people, send the links out. As people have been doing, this is how we've grown, okay? But we have to do it ourselves. It's not going to happen like it might have done 20 years ago or even 5 years ago. All right, okay, what we got here? Paula. I become aware that... Brad and Paula are chatting about something, okay? Suzanne. You need to... Hang on, to get the numbers up, you need to link the history into how it's affecting the current times. Good point, actually. Yeah, you need to make it relevant for people, isn't it? Why is this important? Yeah, why should people be interested? Are people interested in history at all? Maybe that's the problem. I don't know. Anyway, right, okay, so I've jumped around a bit. So it's not really a presentation, more notes to myself. Right, now one of the things I think we need to do, I enjoyed yesterday so much, and as you'll see today, we've got plenty of people to do speaking in it. I think we have to have a conference of our own, and I'm thinking where we should have it. So I keep asking for comments on this, and I think what I'm going to have to do is just grasp the nettle, book a venue, build it and they will come, as the old Kevin Costner film says. Because I reckon we could easily get, what do you think, 200-300 people turn up? I reckon that'd be a brilliant achievement. If we get 200 or 300 turn up. And as I said, my ideal conference would be people can turn up on a Friday evening, and we have a social chance to chat, that kind of thing. I was thinking of doing some quizzes, maybe, some prizes, or maybe a short talk, but basically a hangout. Or if you don't want to stay in a hotel or a tent or wherever, you can come Saturday morning, which is when we have a whole day conference. And then Saturday evening, I'm going to push this. I know obviously there's not much enthusiasm for it, but I'm enthusiastic for it. The idea then we do a play or the musical. It could be a one-night only show, right? It could be the only time it's ever performed. But they've got songs. I think I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking for volunteers. I want musicians, okay? I'm not a musician. I've written some nice, I think they're catchy tunes, all right? But just me singing it with guitar doesn't sound that good. I want to do something with the music. I'll send it across. You can change it. All right, some comments. Here we go. Paula D. Ross, to raise numbers of like-minded contact, scholars, not mainstream. Nordic runes. Oh, yeah, okay. Old boy. I came across you searching specifically for the Colburn. I am. More on that tonight. I find with this kind of topic, my research has to be specific or irrelevant stuff gets thrown up first. Yeah, I think looking for Wilson and Blackett helps, isn't it? Marchell says, some people are frightened to know where they come from for some reason. Yeah, this could be true as well. BHA's conference sounds great. Now, of course, I'm tempted to do it more in South Wales, but I don't mind where we go. Oh, wow, you know what? Go for full send-on musical. Thank you, Cole. Did Susie get in touch yet? I don't think so. Gary Taylor, I downloaded a lot of it. It's what is called The Flood. Right, okay. Doesn't fit with what people are taught at school. Yeah, and I think people just... this is my theme yesterday. I'll do this presentation again or post... Hopefully I can get the film of what I did yesterday. The central theme what I was doing, which tied in with all the other subjects, is that we have this strange reticence in all of us. It doesn't matter what the subject is. This is where Martin was clever yesterday. I was trying to work out why am I on a flat earth thing? You know, what am I to do with that? But that's just one thread. There's always different threads and ideas that people are searching. And one of the examples I gave was the hieroglyphs, whereby, you know, the whole of Egyptology was based on some 11-year-old having a dream that it was Coptic. I mean, it's ridiculous. If someone came along and suggested that today, you'd just be laughed out. You know, if the hieroglyphics and you know you can read it in Welsh, it all makes sense. It's logical, it's easy, and it just works. And someone suddenly came along and said, "Well, this 11-year-old's on his dream is actually Coptic, and it's this really weird thing." You'd be laughed out. But we've been told for 200 years about the Rosetta Stone, by the way, which I think is a forgery, a fake. I've got to put that video up. We were going to film there, weren't we, last week? We couldn't get to the British Museum in the end. I was going to see if they threw me out.
Sadly.
Yeah, it was sad, because it was going to be good fun, wasn't it? I was going to stand in front of the Rosetta Stone.
You had mobile phone issues.
Yeah, we had a few issues, yeah. Well, yeah. So we didn't have time to go then, which is a bit gutting really. But there you go. I was going to film a piece standing in front of the Rosetta Stone explaining why I think the most visited thing in the British Museum is a fake. So I'll just do it as a video in the week, I think. So let's look out for that one. That'll be probably next week. Right, there are some other platforms also and other social media. Yeah, please keep putting up ideas for how we can spread the word and grow this. I mean, it's going great and everything, but I know with I feel pressure as well, time, because Alan's 90 in a few months. He's not going to be here forever, okay? And I want to show him the success. I want him to feel, yes, look what you've achieved, you know? Look at all these... And I know there's more supporters out there. I know there's more people interested. We just somehow have to find a way to get through to them, which I'm not sure. Maybe the conference will help. Also, I'm going to organise... One of the things, when I'm in Newcastle, I'm going to be looking for a venue for Alan Wilson's birthday, which is... I think it's the second week in June, and I'll I did think of a date. I was going to get to pencil in a date. Hang on a second. Let's look on my computer, the calendar. Oh, hang on. I've got a beautiful calendar by Karen there. I think we'll be looking at the weekends of one for your diaries, June 11th and 12th. All right, with provisional date. And
cannot see your screen.
No, not meant to see the screen, that's right. Just June 11th and 12th. Alright, hang on. You can see the screen if you want, I suppose. Okay, so I'm thinking that weekend there, and it'll probably be the Saturday, I think. Like I say, with the conference, so we had all-day conference Saturday, evening, the show, the musical or something, and then Sunday morning we could do something not too heavy, or people want to leave. Some people might want to go back Saturday night. It'll start breaking up, but, you know, we could... If people want to suggest something else for the Sunday morning or midday, I think that'd be good. We've got quite a few people who could do presentations, so that'll be accessible. So with this one, this wouldn't be a big, a similar event. And the problem is you have to get to Newcastle, okay? I'm not moving Alan around. We're going to have to go to him. I'm going to find somewhere. There was, before the COVID and the whole world went mad, there was a pub half a mile from where he lives. So I can get him there, no problem at all. And it was a big pub with a function room, and it would have been ideal, I think. Because what I'm thinking of is a lunch. And have a chance to meet him. And maybe he'll do a speech. And once Alan gets going, sees a crowd, I think he'll be fine. But I have to remember, people, he is a bit wobbly from where, you know, you see him on videos, you forget a lot of those videos are taken 20 years ago and stuff. When he was a mere boy of about 70 odd or 80. So he's not quite the same now, right? But he's still brilliant. Still got a brilliant mind. Just his short-term memory's not always great. Right, okay, so so pencil that in, 11th, 12th of June, you want to aim for, if you can get yourself to Newcastle. Okay. Right, what am I doing here? Come on. Okay, so just to remind everyone, this book is, well, I'm just showing it, it's out, it's printed, it's great. I'm very pleased with it. I'm going to tweak the cover slightly for the reprint, because at the end of the day, it's just showing a load of Atlantic. That's not the cover it ended up. The cover's better than that. That's an old one. Ignore that graphic. It's more like that. I'm going to tweak it again to make it show a bit more of the journey and stuff, and the Faroe Islands and that kind of thing. Okay, alright, that's all going, it's going well, sales are going well, so brilliant, spread the word. Perfect Christmas presents for people. Right, okay, now I'm just going to do a general thing now, and this is the kind of email I got this week. It's a cracker, and I love this kind of thing, and I apologise, I know I've got a backlog of emails, so I need to get through, and I will be, because this is the kind of thing which really cheers me up and what it's all about a bit, okay? This is Auntie Mitchell, Swansea boy who's gone to live in London. I'm going to read all of it, read it yourself. He's moved to an area of London called Leighton, and there's a football team called Leighton Orient. And I couldn't help notice their symbol has two red dragons facing each other, look very much like a Draig Koch. So there's Leighton Orient Football Club. It's pretty cool, isn't it? Now they're kind of like dragons, aren't they? Except you'll notice they've only sort of got one leg. So the Welsh dragon having four, it hasn't got the one at the front, but it does have the wings, it does have the pointed tongue, and it does have the loop in the tail. So I'm with him on this one here. Hang on. Yeah, I'm with you there, Tony. It's definitely very similar to a Welsh dragon, rather than what they're calling it, which is a... which is... you can read the stuff yourself. I paraphrase what Tony said. They're saying they're wyverns and they're Saxon and all this kind of stuff. It does look very much like a Welsh dragon. So this is what people need to do, right? So what Tony's done is going to do a bit more research into it. So he searched for the dry cork, and then it turned out they used to have a badge. Check this out. That's what the badge used to look like. I think anyone would agree that does look very much like a Welsh dragon. In fact, identical, apart from they reversed the red from the background. So if you're not aware, Leighton is East End of London, okay? It's like a sort of poor man's version of the mighty Millwall. If you know Millwall, you'll understand how that's funny. That's the team I used to go and watch. I've got some strange taste in football teams. Right, so anyway, so Orient FC with a Welsh dragon on it. So what's all that about? Why has a team on the Thames and East End got this kind of such a Welsh things? Hey, Brad, my dad's a Leyton Orient fan. Louis, you can tell him, mate, might be Welsh roots now, okay? Or ancient British, okay? Because I say it's not just about Wales, it's ancient Britain. Anyway, it's also associated with St Mary's Church in the area. It was curious, because so is Southampton. So I decided to do a bit more Googling, and the same old spiel came up with Saxons, they're not dragons, they're wyvern, blah, blah, blah. So these wyverns, or dragons, as it would seem to look more like, are associated with the legend to do with the Thames and how they protected it. Could this possibly be a reference to the old British kings? Because they're the dragons, aren't they? The Pendragons and stuff. One thing that took me by surprise is the old name for the Thames River, which is Tamesas. There's one from Marshall, loves old words. Or in modern Welsh, Tavois. So it turns out London is a Taffs as well. Well, I think it's great. What a cracking video. A bit of research there. Well done, Tony. And of course, then, as I think most people probably know, if you follow the boat race and that kind of stuff, if you go further up the river towards Oxford and that, it's known as the Isis. It's got really weird Egyptian connections. And on Ordnance Survey maps, it's still labelled as the Thames or Isis down to Dorchester. Wikipedia says since the early 20th century, this distinction has been lost in common usage outside of Oxford, and some historians suggest the name Isis is nothing more than a truncation of Tamesis. What a bunch of idiots. I've edited out the Swansea part. Yeah, not that kind of ISIS, yeah.
Oh.
No, not the sort of terrorist group which we've been led to believe does all these terrible things. Right, so anyway, excuse my long email and the bad use of good English language. No, your language is fine. But it breaks my heart that the English and Londoners alike are missing out on extraordinary history that is shared with us Cymru. This is the point Tony gets to. British history, English people, Scots, Welsh, Irish, or anyone from around the world who's got an interest should know this stuff. It's our right to know this stuff. It's our birthright, okay? We need to know where you come from. Otherwise, if you don't know your past, who are we, okay? So as Cadwallon said to the Romans, why should branches fight when the roots are the same? We are British and we are the same. Good point. Even with the Romans. Are the Romans actually British? Oh, God, the Welsh, the Romans. This one I talked to Guy at some point. Because this is, yeah, anyway. I think there's a lot to be found in London. Yeah, I lived there for 20 years and I'm kicking myself because I was just so unaware I hadn't woken up to any of this. For example, there's a tube station called Seven Sisters. Yes, I am interested in that. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's a star map in London. See, that's a good project for someone. Yeah, when I read this the first time, I was thinking, if you're in London, or even not, you don't need to be there, you just need a map, or Google it. See if you can find a star map in London, because we've got Hugh Evans' extraordinary star map northwest in Gwynedd, the work Stephen's doing in the southeast. There's this Glastonbury star map, there's one in the south of England. London's got to have one, surely. I mean, it's been such an ancient, important city. So keep up the good work, and the many other troubadours of our history, Marshall, Hugh Evans, and obviously the great Wilson and Blackett, and many more. P.S. I tried to look for the statue of Ludd and his two sons. They're nowhere to be seen. What a disgrace. That is a disgrace. That is an absolute disgrace. So if anyone knows where those are, that'd be brilliant, okay? Oh, no.
You just slipped the power cable.
Oh, blasters. There's no battery on that notebook computer because the battery was crashing it. So, sorry, I can't see comments. Actually, it's just... yes, I can.
You can comment.
I can't see them, I have to close the presentation down to see it. Yeah, we've got loads of people watching as well, brilliant. Right, okay, let's have a quick look. Half the Thames is called the Isis Marchell, and Thomas means twin. Oh, actually, Thomas being phonetically the same or similar to Themis, or Thames. Okay, got to be something in that. Yeah, that was one of the channels. Yeah, autodidactic. Yeah, check that. It's all about free thinking and questioning and doing your own research and looking up stuff. Right, Israel Digor. Right, I'm trying with your name there. Put an easier one up, please. And it's one of the things I tell people on the internet as well, because people I know are a bit worried about. Putting their stuff on like Facebook and things like that. Sorry, yeah, you got to see what was going on in the back there. Was it not? If I look, so it was 113 concurrent viewers now. Is that if you're worried about that, I would if you're on a computer at all, my view is you're being tracked and traced anyway. You can try and not do certain things, make it more difficult. You're going to be caught. But anyway, come on with a false name so you can join in the conversation. All right, hang on a second. Oh, it's going too fast. The real genius. Pyramids Welsh, Sphinx Welsh, Bible Welsh, God was Welsh, Atlantic Welsh, Arthur Welsh, Egypt Welsh, Tom Jones Welsh. Very good. The Seven Sisters, also the rocks of the south-east cliffs, isn't it? See, because we've got a Seven Sisters up towards Colburn in South Wales, up by Glenneath. E.O. Gordon traces out Cassiopeia in London. Right, so that's the Seven Stars. I wonder if that ties in with the Seven Sisters. E.O. Gordon being the writer of Prehistoric London, which is a great book. I've talked about it a few times in previous videos. And worth getting a copy of for the ancient hidden history in London. Like ton, T-O-N, is the ancient British word for a hill. And originally it was built on hills, probably 7 hills, I should think. But the famous ones like Penton, which is now where Pentonville is. There's another ton, the White Hill, or the Holy Hill, which became where the White Tower, the Tower of London is. Eugen's Primrose Hill. A lot of these are actually artificial hills. Don't realise it at all in London. Right, the Royal Astrologer's grave near me is also a pyramid. Very interesting. Thank you, old boy. Okay, Marshall Adams, yes, Isis, Ivana, Eve, we're all one, except the rulers have decided since stealing the truths from Sumerian texts. Mention Tom Jones twice. Why not? It's not unusual. Arnie, tell your dad about Lud and his sons. Right, okay. Right, Adam equals atom equals space, Adam and Eve, Big Bang. Right, thank you very much. Right, let's get back to... hang on, what was I going to talk about next? Yeah, so... Hang on a second. Come on, Ross, wake up. Oh, I'm starting to feel the lack of sleep now. Yeah, so thank you, Tony. And people, do this kind of thing. A lot of this stuff is only hidden, as I keep saying. We've got to move quickly, though, because it will get lost forever or destroyed. And then we've got a real problem. One of the things you need to do, I'm not just selling the books, because this is how we finance everything. This is how we can afford to do this. Well, can't afford to, but this is how we do it full time. How we help Wilson and Blackett. But also you need physical stuff. Because things disappear from the internet all the time. One thing which was, I'm going to talk about that actually. One of the talks yesterday, I think it was Richie Rich, but I think it was Phil or someone was on there, was, have you noticed how the, I'll show you this, I'll share this. This is fascinating. If you notice, this little bit here, you can see the URL at the top. That used to be http:// and everything else, alright? And a few years ago, it got changed to https. I think it was about 8 years ago he said it happened. And that's when the internet was rebooted. It's not the same internet as we used to use. It's a different internet. It's gone from HTTP to HTTPS. And a lot of the old websites, and I know there's people there like, oh yeah, because they got old websites, they can't update them. The new software for editing your website doesn't work, all that kind of stuff. Because the whole thing's been, I don't know where the old sites are gone, or maybe they're still there, you can still get to them, I don't know, I don't know much about this. But it's how frightening it is. And it's like with these YouTube, the videos we're putting up here, if the YouTube channel got suddenly taken down, I know maybe I've said this, and someone's going, you can't say that, and it just disappears. It can happen like that. So we've got our own website we're trying to keep up. If we can get, what I'd like to be able to do, if we can get the numbers up and the revenues enough from sales of books, which is basically our income, or members, if you want to join the, that's ideal if you join, it's still YouTube again. You can pay a membership for a couple of pounds a month, or the Patreon, just a couple of pounds a month. Lots of people putting a couple of pounds a month in is a way to do this. And what I'd like to do then is, if you go to our the website, be able to host the videos there as well, because that's quite expensive. The same way like Richard Hall on Rich Planet does. So you can just go and see the videos. He doesn't use YouTube at all, because a lot of controversial stuff is gradually just being kicked off. Martin Leake is having a nightmare. They completely demonetise his channel, so he's getting no income, and that's his main source of income. So if you can send him a donation, that's a good idea, because he's going to be struggling now, because it's a 3-month ban, just like that. Poof. But his videos are still up there, okay? So there's a curious one. I wonder if anyone else had noticed this change into HTTPS. And it's a reboot of the internet. How bizarre is that? Can't remember it getting much coverage. Can't remember it being on any newspapers or TV channels or any warning given. Hey, you got to move your stuff across because it's all going to change. No, it doesn't work like that. It just happens, all right? So we know it's coming. We know it's all going to be shut down at some point. So we have to keep working on this. Okay. Right. Okay, it's got some fun stuff. Oh, yeah, this is a good one. Yeah, no, I haven't had a chance to search this up yet. But James, it says 1 day ago, because I think it was about a week ago, but it was a day ago when I saved the comment. I thought this was brilliant. We're having a discussion, or might have been on last week's chat, actually. I think it was on, last week's live show in the chat. In mythology of Andean civilization of South America, I don't know how to say that, I think it's Chiquea or Aymara, is a mythical serpent or dragon most associated with the Tiwanaku or Tiwanaku and Inca empires. In Inca mythology, Amaraca, this is the point. America sounds like America, so this is an alternative source for the name America, as opposed to we were talking about last week, Arthur ap Merrick being America, perhaps. Seems most likely, named after the king. And Myrig or Merrick would still have been the king when the 6th century migration happened to America. So it's a lot more sense than the idea of some obscure Portuguese third son called Amerigo, suddenly named after his first name. Anyway, so it's a huge double-headed serpent that dwells underground at the bottom of the lakes and rivers. There are some who believe America got its name from the winged, plumed serpent. Maybe once again this is describing the dragon, the Welsh dragon. So if you're looking for something to do, all right, you want to do some research, I'm trying to get people into being active and getting involved. So thank you, James, for sending that. Very interesting. So if you're looking for thinking, what can I look into? Why not do a little bit of research? Look into Tiwanaku. I think it's Tiwanaku because that's a Welsh U. Inca empires. Try and find out more about this double-headed serpent. Who knows, it'll take you. It's a whole new rabbit hole. You might find something really interesting. I'd like to hear about it. I'll put it on the show. As you can see, I love having other people's names on the screen, so don't mind. It's not about me. It's a group. I'm just the mouthy one up front, okay? So what we're doing here, just to jump in this, Taffy Ducks. I haven't seen Taffy comment tonight yet. He's usually pretty quick on the comments. Keeps you on the straight and narrow, does old Taffy. If I slightly waver off the course. No, he's a bit better with me now. He's a bit nervous with me at first, but there we go. Right, so there. Taffy made this brilliant observation. Double-headed serpent that dwells in underground caves, lakes and rivers. Sounds similar to the British versus the Saxons dragon story. to just remind people as to Vortigern. He was trying to build his tower and it kept falling down every night. And then they were going to sacrifice a boy who had no parents, who was the young Merlin. And so he said, "Oh, don't kill me." What you'll find, the problem is, there's two dragons down the bottom fighting each other. Red dragon, a white dragon. And this represents floating Wales and England. And, you have to deal with this first. Only then can you build your tower. Cut that a bit short. So that's referring to there. And the two-headed dragon could be a reference to there being two dragons. And curiously, on that Lake Norient badge, there were two dragons, weren't there? So, thank you, Taffy Ducks. I think it's an excellent observation. I agree. Or, in my opinion, the British versus British dragon story. Oh, okay. Britons v Britons, the Civil War. That makes sense as well. What we got here? Oh.
Oh, not like this one.
All right, okay. Right, hang on. I'll come back to that in a second on. Yeah, thank you for pointing it out. And some comments about what HTTPS means. Okay, thank you, because I don't know anything about that. Right, so of course they aren't. These are ancient links proving contact or even a shared origin. If the story really is about the British versus British as opposed to British v Saxon, a double-headed dragon would make sense, as it is kin versus kin. I missed that bit last time, right? Two heads, kings belong to the same body or people. Very good. Yeah, thank you very much for that. I think that's excellent. Yeah, I'd go along with all of that. I think it's worth looking into. Particularly, one thing I really, really do want help with, and I've been trying now for 3 years, putting out appeals. There is cave writing in Peru. I managed to find a person from Peru. He came to one of the FEB things. And if you're watching this, please get back to me. There's photographs there of the markings in the caves, which looks like it could be read with Colburn. In the same way as you get volume 2 of this, you go through the cave writing in the caves in North America. It could seem to go to South America, which looks like being Alan Wilson's last piece of research. He'd love to get this done. He is convinced that the British, the Cymric, the people who made the migration, which have included Lloegrins as well, probably Albans, Scots, whatever. There's a big migration. After they left, after they went to the Kentucky area, the Ohio, moved inland through Arizona, at some point moved south and became the Incas, and they are one and the same people. So I know it might sound a bit crazy at first, but Alan Wilson, all these previous ones have checked out. We just want to get some good pictures showing the writing, see if we can read it, because that'd be great proof. Right. People are explaining that the HTTPS thing is no big deal. All right, that's good to hear. Oh, I don't know much about it. Certification for identifying that they are genuine, e.g. banks. HTTP sites are not certified, but many still exist. But you think twice before sending your bank details. Yeah, I think twice before sending my bank details to any website, I suppose. Apart from you have to buy the books with your bank details, I suppose. Mind you, just do a bank transfer. Don't send me any details. So Pendraig is saying the HTTP thing is not a big deal. The S bit just means secure. Yeah, secure for whom? For this Marshall. Okay. All right, we've got something else here. Marshall St. Dunstan's is behind Fleet Street. Not far from where Bridewell used to be. Does that help? Okay, right. So I don't know. I mean, it's been told it's just to make things secure. Maybe it is. I mean, that's what it is. The point is still the same, though. That the flick of the switch, without a big fuss being made, everything could change. And the implication has been, this is the key, for certain people who've got websites, the software they use to update and change the websites no longer works. It won't work on the old ones. It'll only work on the new ones. So you can type all your changes into your editing software, that kind of stuff. You can no longer edit your own website. So this is the kind of problems it has. It might be dressed up as a security issue and it's for our own benefit. Everything's always for our own good. But it's got practical implications for people providing content and trying to build websites. And maybe I'm to re-register them or something. So I think there's more to this story. And I'm not an IT guy, so anyway, it's worth thinking about. Right, another one. Alan Powell. Thank you for highlighting the National Plan 2040. Besides the history and beauty, the National Growth Area is predominantly arable land, which is in short supply in Wales. Excellent. Again, we're talking about the wind farms again, which are going to be despoiling all our hills. Please, 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 every video I put the link, send an email to the developers, to your MP, to everybody saying, you know, what's going to be the total damage, all the roads, the quarrying, the footprints for the crane bases. It's not just the windmills or the wind turbines. These power stations have a massive footprint. They are power stations, not farms. They're going to ruin the area. The history's going to be destroyed. And there's every chance at the end of it then that they might say, well, it's a brownfield site, let's put houses on it. This really is dreadful. And what Anne's noticed, because I put her in touch with the National Plan 2040, please have a look. Again, the link should be in the description. Wales Vision 2040, where you can see 7,500 plus houses being built every year for 20 years. So my maths makes that 150,000 new homes or houses. Each would say 3 or 4 people in there. Another 600,000 people. It's already, you can't get in or out of Cardiff. We're jammed up. Flooding has become an issue, partly because so much is being concreted over. Oh, hello to Tim Lewis as well, as Tim has seen flooding in his area in Cardiff the first time in recent years. Is because there's no runoff. Everywhere's getting concreted or put houses on, so where's the water supposed to go? And another point that's been very major, if you look on the Wales Vision 2040, you see lots of maps, and as Anne quite rightly points out, the areas they want to put the power stations on also happens to be arable areas where we're supposed to be looking at food supply. And this idea of rewilding of farms, I'm going to get a little bit political, I try and avoid it. Look what's happening at the moment, it's coming up the hill, get some food in, this Ukrainian thing, all that kind of stuff, is going to be a food shortage and a famine. A bad one. And having less British land producing food for Britain is just the maddest thing ever. Hey, let's bring in more money and more grants to stop you growing food. Because, hey, we can get our food from the Ukraine. Anyone see the problem with that policy? Anyway, so there we go. And there'll be a loss of distinctive arable land species, which is of international importance. Yeah, thank you very much for that, Anne, and the report details. If someone's look up that report and put a link up, that'd be great as well. And it's just going to be, driveway doesn't help. The fact, thank you, Brad, people paving their driveways and stuff. But this food thing is going to be a real issue, and it's just, I don't get it, and I want to get into that kind of whole area of why they're doing it and all that kind of stuff. Just be aware, right? Get some stocks in. Oh, sorry, I haven't blown this one up. Tudor Williams, an opportunity to promote this unique place to a wider audience with, say, a Zodiac marathon, right? Or a festival of the Zodiac. See, it's the kind of creative thinking I love. Sorry, Tudor, I haven't made your text a little bit bigger. Let's fix that a second. So people can actually see it. Would be helpful, wouldn't it? Hang on a second. Oh no, I can't. It's come on as a picture rather than as a text. That's exactly what I see. That's why it's a problem. Thank you, Tudor Williams. So we're saying this, this was after the interview I did with Steve Willits, where he's showing this potential star map in South East Wales. What a great way to promote it. How about we do a Zodiac marathon, where you could run a course or a half marathon or whatever it would be. Festival of the Zodiac, and then so there's any fit people out there. There's no way I'm going to be running around any number of miles up and down hills, but I'm very happy to help organise and promote it, supply it. So if anyone knows about doing events like that, I think that'd be pretty cool, wouldn't it? We could have a race once a week, go up a different star, or I tell you what would be a good one. It's when Steve watches this, I'm not sure he's around this evening, is the Gilgamesh marathon. Or it wouldn't even be a marathon, just be the Gilgamesh half marathon, which would be fantastic. Actually, probably would be a marathon. And I'll come on to that in a second, where Steve's showing there how the Epic of Gilgamesh, supposed to be the oldest story in the world, you can plot it through South Wales to the place names and the places, right up to the Severn, all around here. You got Henstaff, all the stories written out here in the landscape. I've no idea why. What the implications are, we can think about that later. What we have to do is get the facts down, all right? And that might be a way to publicise it. So anyone, any ideas like that? Anyone wants to get involved doing that? Anyone wants to fancy organising a... doesn't have to be a marathon. It could be a hike, couldn't it? It could be a walk. We could do regular rambles, perhaps. I don't know, things like that. We need to just get more publicity. Right, another comment there from last week. Hollywood was originally... Sorry. Blah, 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 blah. Hollywood was originally Hollywood land in the old photos. And the holly is the strongest wood in the world. Is that why Cliff Richard sang the holly and the ivy? When they are both full grown, of all the trees that are in the wood, the holly bears the crown. What can we do that's ample by armchair to help? Try Autodidactic channel as well. So have a think about that. I've also got the book here, which I'm going to do some research on. As people who know more about this than I do, they call it Celtic folklore, but the old British folklore about all the different trees, what they do, and that kind of stuff. Right, what we got here? Sue Evans, start growing your own vegetables within your community. Don't rely on the system as it's going to collapse. Yes, I'd agree with that. And I don't think it's coincidence that they've started spraying the sky all the time and there's no sun coming through, but hey, I'm just a conspiracy theorist. Right, Britain's hidden history. Oh yeah, that's my reply, yeah. Celtic Cactus Crease. Yeah, I got the comment up. Yeah, I did do it. Chart 211, but I haven't done the research yet, but I will do. Right, okay, Jez Pernella sent me this. Just when you think we're making progress, and you think we're moving along, you find this kind of article, which is just cracking, because it shows you what we're up against, okay? Why it's so important we do what we do. So I'm just going to have to... I think I've got this open already somewhere. Should be. Alright, okay. Let's open it up again. Okay. Hang on a second, I need to press that. God, I need to press that. Right, so this is a bizarre story, okay, and it's from April 2022. It's bang up to date. Smithsonian Magazine, so thank you for reading that. For other people out there who read this, any magazine, stuff like that, let's try and fire some questions in. Also thinking, if you've got other channels, you know, promote this channel. If you see something there, like... about hieroglyphs, say, hey, have you ever tried the cameragliphics? And just put a link up or something to a video or a website. Right, anyway, here's one that's interesting. This is just bizarre, okay? I read it in great detail, but you don't have to get the idea of it. Right, digging up the rich Viking history of Britain. I know we had a Viking history, so there we are, it is well hidden. So a massive 1,100-year-old graveyard leads to a surprising... new view, you know, always a worry, of the Nordic legacy in Britain. So you can read this, you can follow the link, I'll put it in the description, I think, and you can slow down. So we're in Derbyshire, right in the middle of England, okay? There's no path, the forest floor was overgrown with bracken and brush, it was easy to lose your footing, blah, 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 all chatty. We were literally walking across a Viking cemetery. How do they know it's Viking? Always the first question, right? How do you know this is Viking? The only known Scandinavian cremation cemetery in the whole country, says Jarman, an archaeologist, whose new book, River Kings, take a fresh look at who the Vikings really were and what exactly they're up to here. She flashes me a broad smile. It's very good, isn't it? Well, it's great, but I mean, I don't understand why they would suddenly have this burial place in the middle of a forest. Which is what it says here. So what they say, they use rivers to get around. And it's an awfully long hike from where the River Trent flows today. Why have you got these Scandinavian cremation mounds here in the middle of nowhere? And the proposal is that the river had a different route. And the Trent flowed close by back in then. At no point they say, hey, maybe it's a British cremation site. This doesn't seem to come into it. And also, there's no justification at all for calling this Viking. And this is in the Smithsonian Magazine, supposed to be, well, you know what it is. As I always call the Smithsonian, it seems to be catching on, it's the place where evidence goes to die. So the empty fields have been transformed by scholarship into the likely, or it's likely now, it's only become a likely site of a Viking settlement. The men and women who lived there may have come with the great Viking Great Army around 873. and some of them stayed and sank roots in England. And it's just absolutely bizarre, because there's no real... I can't see any evidence at all for why it should be Viking apart from wishful thinking. And once again, the British are ghosts, and the history's wishful thinking. The Vikings have left us little record of their 250-year moment on the stage. Maybe it didn't have a 250-year moment. Perhaps that's why there's not much records. Skulls will have to pick over some old bones, sometimes burnt, sometimes not. And useful objects, grave goods. The Vikings also left silver coins and jewellery, sometimes buried for later retrieval, known as a hoard, or far more often scattered haphazardly across the fields where they await the amateur metal detectorist's electromagnetic pulse. And if they're British, they're considered loot or tribute. And if they're not British, they're not British. You can't win. You can't win either way. Alright, so this is the kind of article that keeps turning up all the time. Here we go, right in the middle of England, Derbyshire. Yeah, remind me that where I brought up for a few years around Derbyshire. And I got a little bit of report to do there from Morton. It's supposed to be dead centre of England, but I think a few places claim that. And there's Major Oak, which is supposed to be there. Most tree mark in the centre of England. So I want to get back into that kind of the four corners of stuff. Right, let's look a bit more at the comments. Hey, Taffy Ducks, you are there. Brilliant, mate. Oh, hang on. Who's he talking to there? Are he renaming what? He's talking to Dean Morgan. Do you want to read out some of the comments? Hang on. Wasps, also AW, keeps them from spoiling our barbecue. Oh, right, okay. On something completely different, I think. So anyway, so that's pretty much it. The Vikings left no written record. They left nothing. They're made of wood, so anything would have disappeared. It's bizarre. The Scandinavian ornament depicted in the movie Lord of the Rings. We don't have them. We don't have anything. There's nothing to support it at all. And here we go. This is the problem with the mainstream media, you see, because Bernard Cornwell, I'm a big fan of, I was in contact with for a while. We had Boston connections and writing and stuff. So the Last Kingdom, again, the British are ghosts in the history. Everything's Anglo-Saxons and Vikings. And people watch these series and read these books and think they are history. That's where we're going to get our stuff out. So, what's this? Oh, Brexit. It's a controversial position to stake out in these days of Brexit. The national myth of Alfred the Great and Anglo-Saxon triumphalism will not go away quietly. So they're even trying to get rid of the Saxons now. This is when you have to realise, when you're in the pack doing the censoring and the kicking out things which doesn't fit, doesn't make you safe. You can be the next one. So I'm getting the sense here that the Anglo-Saxons are next out. Bizarre, isn't it? So they got rid of the British a couple of 100 years ago, now the Anglo-Saxons can go as well. Very, very strange. Very strange. Oh, hang on, how do I get this back? You think they have the hang of this now, don't you? After 500 videos or something. Trouble is, it's dark and I can't... Oh, hang on, I got this special keyboard from Arnie. Here we go. That's the button I want. So there you go. So please keep sending things like that through. And I am going to start doing the short videos again in the day where we have a chance to pick up news stories and talk about them there and then. I just realised Arnie put me really close to the camera on the thing, haven't he? Right, Arnie's right, I think we're all getting a bit tired. Here we go. Alright, so thanks for that. An interesting one. Right, okay. Oh, yeah. So what's the time looking like? Oh my goodness, 9:30. Right, now I've been very bad on this one because John Griffiths and his son will be doing this, analysing the coins, and they've kept going. And I've not given the coverage I want to because of the book and everything else that's going on. Really, really important. Coins are very, very important. One of the things with these have always been assumed, this is Hadrian supposedly, because it sort of says Hadrian there, always assumed to be Latin and Roman. But if you look closely, it doesn't actually look like Latin or Roman when you look closely at it. The A is not a proper A. Look at this weird thing here. We're kind of seeing an A because we're looking for the name Hadrian. But it's a little bit different to this one. It says more like an upside down Y. And that N is more like a Colburn N. Everything's a bit different. And it's even more confusing around here what this means. So there have been videos up before. I've got longer videos to put up. Big thing to catch up with. So if we come on here, just read this one out. Hi Ross, happy Easter. I've recently acquired a Latin dictionary, so I'm revisiting the Roman Emperor coins. Yeah, the proposal is, if you're not aware of it, that what we are told between roughly 150 and 300 are Roman emperors are actually British kings, and their identity's been stolen and Latinized to create this idea of a Roman Britain which probably never existed. I'm going to be doing more on that next week. Now, I was going to be this part of what I was doing this week about the myth of ancient Athens. Anyway, I've recently had one breakthrough is the writing system, the Colburn, which John has become very proficient at. They've got more videos to go up. And what you can do there is, because the coins, there is a chance at least of dating coins, and they have got writing on them and they've got faces on them. They're the best evidence in many ways if you can track them down. And what he's been doing there is saying, well, maybe they're not Latin, maybe they're Colburn. And he's getting some startling results. And here's another one, okay? Right, I've recently acquired a Latin dictionary, Ross, so I'm revisiting the Roman Emperor coins to test the possible meanings to abbreviated parts of the Latin text. We've also got a theory that Latin is a modern language rather than an ancient language as well. And it's a bit of a cobbled together language from the other languages. So rather than all the other languages being descended from Latin, like, you know, your southern coast ones, Portuguese, Spanish, France, Italian, it's the other way. And Latin's quite a recent invention. That's a big mind-blowing moment. But so far, all the evidence does seem to support that idea. Anyway, it's been very interesting ideas, exercise. So far, I'm getting support, and more support than contradiction to the narratives found in Welsh. Thought you might appreciate an example of this revisit to the Hadrian coin we discussed previously. Oops. Oh no, where's the translation bit? Alright, here's some of it here. Sorry, I messed up a bit there. Interesting, the same coin letters space and expand as Latin to appear up this story as well. So you can do it in Latin and Colburn. There's a weird relationship between these languages, and it's not the normal history we're taught. So if you space letters like this, you've got Hadrian, Us, Org, Cos, Ip. Hadrian, Usurpo, Augustus, Costa, Indigetis, Particips. I know we get Latin. Which you could translate as Hadrian, take possession of the sacred rib, defied heroes sharing in. So the august or sacred rib might be the person of Antoninus Pius, he's known as the sacred one, from the British Holy Family line. The deified hero shared may be the joint British-Roman Trojan heritage from Arviragus, and the Latin might point to dual heritage. Here is a miracle of concentrated information. That the Latin and the Welsh renderings of the coins legends yield two messages running alongside each other in support of each other is astonishing. Because Hadrian, the background to this is Hadrian came to Britain in what 122, 3, between 122 and 125, depending which record you look at, to make an agreement with the British. The war was ruinous. They weren't getting any headway. Everyone in Rome was busily slaughtering each other, so running out of viable heirs. So someone from the British royal family is taken on because they got the same sort of Roman type blood. Right, quick update on this one. I've had the great pleasure of getting the first draft through from Marshall. This book's going to be amazing about the Great Migrations. Big description about the Alpine migrations, so 1600 BC roughly. And then the British migrations 500 BC roughly. And the work that's going on is it's brilliant. And it's so packed with information. So I'm helping on the editing and with structuring it and that kind of stuff. But Marshall's just done an absolutely brilliant job. All about looking at how it all fits together. Particularly using research from Wilson and Blackett. And also the Colburn with a K, the Colburn history record, bringing that in as well, because it does seem remarkably good. And it's very frustrating how it doesn't get more recognition as a proper historical document, because that is, well, if it can be, the problem is it's difficult to verify the provenance, but it's the way Marshall looks at it, and people like Yvonne Whiteman, who's sort of the custodian, if you like, of that, from Graham Hancock's website. It's a custodian of the Culbra at the moment in Britain. Is it's what's called internally verifies itself. The internal references, it's vast. It's like a Bible. It's called a Bible by some people. And it's similar in that it's the history and then a philosophy, same as the other Bible. And the internal evidence supports itself. This is why it's very convincing. And also, with our knowledge, we can find a lot of things referred to actually physical evidence for them being there, okay? So speaking of these wonderful people, I just want to give a special mention to Yvonne Whitehead, Yvonne Whitehead, Ashley Coslett and Marshall Abrahams, who've been doing this, they're doing so much work behind the scenes on trying to really verify the cold brain and work it all out. So I think it's going to be another book or something coming along there, and hopefully I'll do some interviews very soon with their updates on what they're doing. I was going to show the Kings this night, but we're getting a bit late. But you'll see they're putting together a full chronology of the ancient British kings right back to 1500 BC, who they all were, how the stories fit in, how everything cross works. People are doing some brilliant stuff. Steve Willits is doing his fantastic stuff as well. With his, he's going from strength to strength, and it's just absolutely mind-blowing. I'm looking forward to doing more on that. How you can, like I said, the Voyage of Gilgamesh, the Zodiac. It's all plotted out in South Wales, and I don't know why or how. It's vast. We're talking 40, 50 miles across. It's huge. And all these weird place names which don't make any sense at all normally suddenly make sense. Right, what we got here? So they got the church destroyed, Welsh, Viking pagan history. The lies about Jesus and Miriam. What is this from Paula? Mary in Latin. The Catholics Latinized the Bible not to offend. Wake up to the rulers, destroy all our history. Yeah, I'm afraid all our history does get destroyed. Yeah, well done, Marshall. Yeah, lots of well done, Marshalls. I crossed my French... Andrew Whelan, look out, what is this about? I crossed my French bulldog with a bird. The offspring are going cheap. Ha ha, if anyone's interested. Ha ha ha, very cheap joke. Yeah, well, that's with this Easter. Let's have some fun, shouldn't we? Right, what we got there? Thank you, and Paula too. Ross is a ferocious editor. I'm not sure that's what people want to hear. There we are. I'm sure we'll get on fine with it. Right. Yes, this Babylonian star maps, that's another one to do. And, yeah, okay. Alright, so what have we got then? And of course, Hugh Evans is still ongoing. He's doing his work with the Gwynedd star map, and he's going to be doing a presentation to the Druids convention. Have I got a slide on that? Yeah, Druids and King Arthur. And when they start talking King Arthur this time, we're talking about the current King Arthur, the current incarnation. Okay, this is the Druidic thing. And I'm becoming a Druid. Well, I'm part of the Druid order now, so... Yeah, Charlie's a bit very sceptical about this. I'm going to have just a mainstream son who's like so square all these things. Probably being a Druid. I can't see your face, Arnie. Set this camera. We can't see you as well.
Mushrooms, the normal ones.
Yeah, I don't touch anything like that. But neither does Lawrence, actually. And apparently Arthur likes a few pints of cider. So unfortunately, I think all the tickets are gone for this event. But there's going to be, I'm going to be doing a little presentation as well. And there's a moot with the Druids, so look out for more news on that. And I'm hoping I'm going to get a chance to meet King Arthur, the current one. And I want to do an interview and get him on the channel. It's fascinating. It's all part of our culture and history. It just doesn't get any coverage at all normally. So it's part of our fabric and our history. Okay, it's culturally part of it as well. It's not just about all being the documents and stuff. You've also got to look at other ways, oral tradition and stories and how things, different angles on things. So that's going to be good fun, right? Careful of Druids. I know one from Cardiff. Is this?
Once.
Turned out to be a fruitcake. Yeah, I'm sure that's... I think you can say about anything, can't you, really? And you're a librarian, turned out to be a fruitcake. Right, possibly the thing you're most likely interested to know about is new Wilson and Blackett books. Okay, now, I'm very nervous about throwing myself straight to another book, but the next one won't be as huge as this thing. But just as fundamentally dramatic, more in many ways. It's, well, there's a couple, 2 or 3, oh, excuse me. It's there, I'm running out of juice. One I think will get everyone excited is about the pyramids in Egypt. And what's fascinating about it, and I'm not going to give too much away because I want this to come out as with the books a bit further down the line, is that it's going to be the positioning of the pyramids is very important. Where all the pyramids are, not just the big 3, but loads of pyramids. The work, again, Alan Wilson's done this, is just mind-blowing. It's been staring everyone in the face, only he sees it. Him and Barham. I suppose you have to read the hieroglyphs helps. But also the purpose of the pyramids. I know some people think they're power generators and all that kind of stuff. That might be the case as well. But Wilson, back as he works out how they what they did in practical terms, why they're where they are, why you never find any treasure, why you never find any mummies, and and the bit which where the mummies and the treasure probably is. There's big tons of golden treasures sitting there, and treasure hunters want to know this, I think, but also why the pyramids. It's genius. And they did this 30, 40 years ago. I don't know why they never published it. I don't know, just never got around to it or something. I think potentially it's the most explosive book they've ever done. And it could be verified, because there's sites that people haven't even thought to go into where the loot is, as it were. So if you hadn't had this crazy last couple of years of COVID and all that, and all the travel restrictions and all the things you have to do to travel anywhere, I might have been spending quite a bit of time in Egypt myself. I'd look to see, check these things out before the rush starts. But that's huge. That's really huge. And also I'm hoping, I think I've gone through most of the notes and everything now. There might be some stuff up there which we're going to talk to Baron Allen. They've got other things they want published. I'm going to keep going and keep getting the stuff done. I think that's it for this year, isn't it? Oh yeah, we've gone to this Marcus Aurelius. This is going to be another thing, another story, perhaps another week. Is this guy actually from ancient Rome, or is he from Renaissance? And he got the whole thing about Greece. But we're not going to do that tonight. Pardon?
Can't see it.
Thanks, Arnie. Good job of you. No, thanks.
Oh, good.
Marcus Aurelius. So this could be another day. Maybe next Sunday, or maybe during the week. Actually, won't be this week. Does that look like a 2,000-year-old statue, or is it far more recent? And for a far more recent person. Nothing to do with ancient Rome. Similarly, there's photographs here. It's the kind of thing that Martin would be good at, actually. This is from the 1860s. This is where the ancient Greece's supposed to be. So why isn't it there? And what happened to it? When was it added later? Is it what was there? It's a really interesting area of discussion. I'm going mostly from flamenco, but then trying to add a few bits and pieces to that. Okay, so I've done that for tonight, so thank you very much. 9:45. It's I think we're up to date on most things. We're going to have conferences, some shows, keep spreading the word. Please, and if you see a relevant subject on a YouTube channel, plug this channel, plug the relevant video. We're going to have to work. I don't think it's going to, and thank you as well, that tip there that he searched for something specific like the Colbrin. I need to learn more about how to put the hashtags and stuff like that on videos that they've found if people are looking for things. I think most people look for Wilson and Blackett to find here. I am interested to know how people found this. And suggestions to help it grow. We've all got to do this together, okay? It's our history. We're getting one shot at it. Oh, yes, please, Arnie B. Yes.
Right.
It looks medieval. Oh, we got a little chat about that. Yeah, okay, on. Yeah. Yeah, of course it looks medieval. It's just bizarre to think this is a 2,000-year-old emperor who might never even existed. So I'll just give just very short. The theory behind flamenco is regarding Romans and Greeks is not that the documents were forged or faked. They are genuine, talking about genuine events. But the events they describe
are much more recent, like 14th to 16th century, and talk about almost near contemporary history. And those events have been copied, either duplicated or just moved to really ancient times. So this is why there's hardly any medieval history about Greece, for example, because all that what happened in medieval times has been shoved way back, all right? So that's what we're going to get on to as soon as we get a chance. All right, so thank you very much, everybody. Wow, so it's been a big old time. So this whole Roman Greek, the classics, is just a whole... If I had more time, that's the book I would like to write. And if someone wants to do it, go for it, and I'll help. It's not about me holding it. There's enough stuff here to write books the next 40 years. So if you want to do something, crack on and do it, all right? Like, I was going to do a book on the migrations. Marshall's dived in and she's doing it. Great, crack on. I'm happy to do some editing, help a bit. It's got to happen. The big story, I think, with the classics is all invented in Renaissance times and leapt upon in England, particularly where they want to rewrite our history. For example, I think it's a massive area of research to do. It's not going to happen unless someone from this group does it, okay? And my top priority has to be to get the Wilson and Blackett books out while I've still got Alan and Baron there. It's a grim thought, but, it needs to happen first because that's against a time scale. And hopefully the rest have got a bit longer. So if you want to crack on with something or research area, or you've done some research, you want to talk, and I'll do a Zoom chat. The one thing I would ask is if you, and we've had this twice now, situations, if you're doing research part of Britain's hidden history, what's happened 2 occasions now, 2 different people, at some point, I give all the information, all the help, and it's not me, it's Wilson and Blackett's work, not like I've done it or anything. All the thing, it's a group project, and I don't know, whether ego gets in the way, something happens, hey, it's all mine, I'm keeping it, it's copyright, no one can see it, and then they're going to publish or do something, but that never happens, it disappears. This happened with a couple of important projects now. So please, if you're going to get involved and you're going to get people from the group to help you and send information. I send you information. You want to use Wilson and Blackett's research, all that, great. Fantastic. But don't, as you work through, wherever you are, you think, well, hang on a second, I can add to this or I can change this. Right, all mine, I'm off. It ain't going to work like that. Because the 2 occasions it's happened now, 2 separate people, nothing's happened. That research just died with them, gone back into the caves. What we discovered doing this channel, the number of people who've come out of, who've been working for decades, some people, phenomenal work, brilliant stuff, and I just didn't realise anybody else was interested in what they're doing, or Wilson and Blackett's work, or the Britain's Hidden History, and they've just been living in their caves, and there's been loads of caves, I mean obviously not physical caves, I call them caves, silos, where people are working away, and no one else knows, and then one of our group, prominent member of the group, must thank people who helped run the Facebook group and that kind of thing. When her husband died, she just chucked it all out and didn't realise, and now it's like, oh my God, I can't believe I got rid of a lot of stuff which would have been useful for that. You don't want that to happen to your work. And also, if you're going to start sharing stuff and you want to talk to me or something, I've only got so much time. So I want to talk to people and projects who are prepared to do a Zoom chat, and we can record it, we can show it and spread the word, okay? Just a consultation or a long thing might be fascinating, and I'll learn from it, be great. We just don't have the time and resources to do that, okay? Same with, I got a lot of requests to help people with personal family trees and tracing names and that kind of stuff. I'm flattered people ask, but we're on a time scale here, okay? We got a lot to do, and we've got to do it quickly. Internet's changing. Alan's getting old. It's getting more difficult, not easier. All right, so this is a bit more upbeat. But it's 100 episodes. That's the main thing. And it's doing well. As you've seen there's a lot of projects going on. I haven't even covered all of them. So well done, all those people. And get the work out there. Park our egos. Share what we're doing. Like I was saying, that whole stuff I've been doing on how the reset basically created a Roman and Greek thing. If you want to go and run with that, run with it. I'm not hanging on to anything. Nothing. It goes out there. The only stuff I can't share, obviously, For example, the work Wilson and Blackett have done on the book on the pyramids, which hasn't been published yet. I've got to publish that book. That's obviously that's a different situation. But things we're working out from the books and that kind of stuff, brilliant, okay? Well, as you can see, I'm starting to flake a bit now. So brilliant. Great to so many people on there. Yeah, this is going to be great. And let me know about the events. And if someone would like to help organise the events, even better. It's got rather a lot on my plate. That'd be excellent. If you know any venues, if you've got a venue, if you've got somewhere you could go, it doesn't have to be South Wales. I think that's where most of our viewers are, but it's got to be something where a train access is very important. I want to keep the costs down, so I don't know how many people turning up. I don't want to charge a lot for tickets. Maybe Cardiff. It's a mainline train station, all that kind of stuff. And there's lots of hotels, places to stay, then you can't camp. So please have a think about it. If you've got ideas, please do it there. Right, thank you for the nice comment, Ralph, and thank you for all the lovely friendly emails and everything. Emailed them, it's not even a thank you. I did a lot of work on someone's family tree and emailed them it, not even a thank you. Yeah, I'm afraid I've got one of these, what was I going to say, one of it's a bit of a cruel comment I used to make. I try not to make cruel comments, but it's what I used to say is that when some people really want to show their family tree and all that kind of stuff, I would say, well, there's two people interested in your family tree, or in a family tree, and that's the person wanting to show the family tree, and it's the person who's listening because they just want to show you their family tree. All right. I'm sure there's other places to go for that. We have to look at the bigger picture. Anyway, sorry, I started on a positive, so well done everyone. Think of where we've come. 2 years of these weekly broadcasts, 400 films, 300 plus other videos, loads of topic, and there is so much content I can't even keep up. I know there's channels out there who struggle. What we're going to talk about next week, it's massive, and it's brilliant, and there's lots more to come. So stay in there. Please remember, not only subscribe, share it, tell other people, and let's get more involved. And if you've got a story, come and tell it, and let's do it on a Zoom chat, and we can record it and show it, okay? Wow, I'm going to clip off now. Okay. Right, Arnie, you ready, buddy boy?
Yep.
He's giving me little hints there, little twinks in the background. Right, so good night to everyone. Take it away, Arnie boy. So good night to everyone. Hwyl fawr. It's an old Welsh folk tune. Thank you, Sean. Oh yeah, we're going to do Sean's alphabet soon as well. Very nice, Arnie. Can you tell us the name of that one, please?
It's Farewell i'r Marianne. Farewell to the shore.
Farewell to the shore. If that didn't reach the microphone, there we go. Farewell i'r Sharian. Marianne. Sorry, I should know that. Excellent. There we go. So, Arnie, you want to go and put your hand over the camera? And this week, right?
Yes.
Don't give it your famous tight head props right hook and put the camera through the window like last week, all right? You're going to just gently... Do you mean aw? Right, okay. You ready? He's disappointed face now. You want to thump the camera?
Gently.
Just gently. All right then. So I can see Arnie's face kind of. There we go. All right. So until next week then, everyone take care. Have a peaceful time. The most peaceful day of the year. So until next time, Heddw. Oh no! What have I done? I hit the wrong button.
Oh no!
Oh no! It's the wrong card. It's still showing up. Look. Oh, it's all gone wrong.
When Arnie play violin next time, can you show Arnie a bit more?
Oh yeah, I couldn't reach the camera. That's the trouble. I can't get to the camera anymore. Arnie's mum wants to see more of Arnie. There we go. Because the microphone is still on, Angie. Just so you know.
All I know is I see you enough.
You see me enough? Yeah, everyone sees me enough. Don't worry about that. Hang on a second. Right, we're going to change the image on.
I already did change the image at the start.
To the wrong one, yeah. You didn't change it in the middle. There we go.
You rushed me.
I rushed you. I know I rushed you. Oh, man, it was running so late. Right, okay, so let's say goodnight to everyone. Let's say goodnight to a couple more people. Good night, Brad. Yeah, hang on. That's what's going on. Good night, Paula. See everyone soon. I'm off to bed. Good night, all. Nostar. Heddwch.